welcome to another episode of the Monday Mile podcast. Today we are at altitude. We are in Colorado, USA with a lady who has driven the progression of women's snowboarding to the stratosphere. She's a double Olympic gold medalist and a friend of mine. It is the one and only Aimee Fuller.
Oh, you're such a pro. You're such a pro at this now. Look at your new career.
Not only is she one of my friends, she has just made history yet again at the X Games. Aimee Fuller, how, at the age of 33, are you still doing it?
First of all, so happy to see you. Yeah, actually, we started together, right? When I started snowboarding, I looked up to you.
That's
and then we were
crazy.
riding together and we became friends. And yeah, all my friends kind of retired and moved on, and I'm still here doing it.
I mean, physically, it's so impressive, but mentally, more so. I remember my second games, 2018, you were there, and I was just done. I was so tapped out. How have you managed to retain the motivation and inspiration to keep going?
I think it gets harder with age in general, mentally especially, because like our sport, you have to take so many risks, and when you're young and wild, you don't think about what could go wrong. But I think where I take my motivation is just that I still love the sport so much. I still have fun, and yeah, I still see that I'm progressing. And if I wouldn't see that anymore, I think I would be done too. I would be like wanting to move on, and then the next Olympics are in Italy and it's only a year away, and also that's a little bit of a motivation to have Olympics so close to my home. And I live half an hour from the Italian border.
No way.
The last Olympics were with COVID. It didn't really feel like I got the experience I wanted.
Yeah.
And so that, of course, like that's gonna be my last competitions, I think. Like
You heard it right here.
Yeah.
Aimee Fuller.
one more year pushing through, going with the young ones. I think this competition now in X Games, I was 10 years older than all my competitors.
No way.
Yeah.
That is actually ridiculous. But when it comes to you competing here, you without a doubt stamped your authority and dominance on the big air. Cab, triple 12. For those people, because we've got an English audience that are listening to the podcast that might not know snowboarding, break down what that is.
So in general, women's progression has been so high, and this year, for the first time, I think we saw a lot of triple variations, which
That's your fault. You started it.
maybe, yes, I was the first one to do it, and now it's so amazing to see how many girls are doing those hard tricks. And the risk when you go 3 times overhead, it's just a little higher, and it's so cool to see so many young girls on such a high level now, and that I'm still part of it, and that the trick worked out in the finals in bigger here and I could win another gold medal. I didn't even think it was possible. Like I came here and I knew I had a chance for a medal, but I really didn't expect a gold medal.
What was it like standing on top of that podium and the pressure going into it? You are still looked at as the it girl. You are the golden girl of big air and slopestyle.
I didn't feel like I was a favorite going into this event, but I knew I still could hold my ground against the young riders. But I knew everything had to go right and everything needed to work out. And I think when I stood at the top of the podium, I was in disbelief, because I was like, what just happened? And also, I think one of the most special gold medals in my career, because I haven't won a gold medal at X Games in like 4 years, I think, or 5 years. And of course, getting older, a lot of people question, like, why are you still doing this? You won so much. Like, you questioned it, right?
No, absolutely
and
do.
When a lot of people question what you're still doing, you start to
Doubt it.
doubt it yourself. So then I was like, this gold medal proved so much to myself. So this was one of my most beautiful wins, I would say, in my whole career.
Wow, that really is something. And when people do doubt you, coming into this, how do you silence that noise?
You know, I'm so, I don't want to say old, but I've been in this game for so long that I learned to kind of silence that voice. I learned that I'm not doing it for other people, that I'm doing it for myself, especially now at this phase, because I achieved a lot of goals that I wanted to achieve already with winning the Olympics and
Twice.
yeah, so I achieved all of that, and now I just want to do it for myself. I don't feel like I need to prove it to anyone anymore. That makes it easier to get maybe some negative comments that I read or that people question it out of my head.
That must give you a real sense of empowerment, because I remember feeling the pressure, especially, you know, you have the Red Bull helmet and, you know, qualification for the Olympics and all eyes on you. And it definitely, I think sometimes when you fall into that trap of doing it because of the outside pressures, that's when you do lose the love for it.
Exactly. And I remember, like, especially going into the 2018 Olympics, you were there with me. There was like mainstream media attention and the pressure it brings. It was crazy and it was really hard to still enjoy snowboarding.
And I think that's what's so impressive about your journey now, is your ability to almost like jump through that transition and find that enjoyment in it, because as you said, you are the oldest girl in the field. And before I came here, I messaged Jamie Anderson. I was like, Jamie, like, what are the chances are you going to be at X Games? And she literally went, no, but Gasser will be. She's still going. Like, give her a hug from me. Like, all of the older girls from our generation are just, I think, watching you in awe. It's superhuman, that mental ability.
I don't know. I think I remember there was for sure some moments where I doubted if I should keep going. Last year I had such a big crash here, actually in the big air. And that was like kind of like for me the first time questioning if I should keep going. Because I was like, risk reward, is this still smart to do? So I also questioned myself. And then now I like kind of just over the last year, I learned to not force anything anymore. That was really important for me, to like go more with my feeling, trust my feeling more. And that's when I started riding way better. I feel like this year I really made a big step, still progressing, even though I'm older, because I was more listening to my gut feeling and not forcing it anymore, and then everything was flowing a little bit better.
And I guess physically, when you also take that pressure off, you've got so much experience when it comes to ball control. If you're pounding your body less, it's almost as though you're fresher and fighting fit. How is the body?
The body is sore today, just because we had a really big week last week with back-to-back competition. I was going in January, I was going from competition to competition with Olympic qualifiers, and then X Games is just always a super hard week for the body. But I still feel good. I think I still can go with the younger ones, but I may need more breaks.
you most definitely can. When it comes to looking ahead to the Olympics, it's crazy that it is a year away. That period of time seems to have gone so quickly. In terms of progression, I mean, it's already ridiculous. What do you think we're going to see?
Just this last week, I never thought women's snowboarding would go to that level it is right now. And with Mia, Zoe, the young Japanese generation, it's so unbelievable how much it progressed in just the last year. That I really think in the next, like in those Olympics, you're gonna need not just one 14-4, you probably need two. And what impresses me the most is just, you know, women are riding so fearless now. Don't you think? Like, I remember, like, we were also progressing a lot when 10 years ago, I mean, when we started. But I think now the generation that came up after us, they are like, they never felt like they were in the shadow of the men or of the boys, while we had to fight to not be in the shadow.
And now there is no shadow.
There is no more shadow, and I think the new generation is more fearless. They don't get compared to the guys as much as we did back then. So I think we had to fight more, because I remember when I started, I felt like we were the sideshow a lot of times. Like, not getting the same TV times than the guys, not getting taken as serious.
Even
there
the prize
was no
money.
big air.
There wasn't. Imagine if we'd had big air.
If they had it, like,
that would have been dangerous for me.
For you, yes, you were a sender. One of the first kept doubles in comms.
Oh but it was definitely all you, Anna.
But it was all of us. And also Jamie, it was the girls in front of us. Like, this generation, especially now, I think they profited from what you did and what Jamie did, the fighting to get that spotlight.
Without a doubt, because I think the standard of the doubles was set. It's like anything, right? When there is a standard, you join at that standard. That's the standard you aim for. But that progression window, I think going from, say, like a double backflip to a cab double to a cab triple, it's almost, once you've learned to go upside down twice, it's like, oh, we'll just go a bit harder. Right?
Yeah, but also, you know, what also changed, to be fair, there's different training possibilities now.
Ah, yes.
You know, there's the airbags now. There's like, I remember we didn't have national teams and coaches and physios. And when I started, I had no physio, no coach, no.
I know, and like now
we were traveling together, and now it's so professional. Like snowboarding got so professional since it's part of the Olympics.
Do you feel like you experienced the glory days? Because when I talk about my snowboarding career, I call it the degree of life, because I got to experience sort of slightly more wild rogue side of snowboarding.
Yeah.
And then that transition into the professionalism, it is so different.
It is so different, and I'm so happy that I experienced both.
Yeah. Take me back to Meyerhof and Penken Park. I remember seeing you hurling yourself onto a rail, and literally, I think going with Julia Noranda. Whoa, who is this girl? 5 years later, we're kicking ourselves because this girl is now dominating every slopestyle competition in the world.
I have to say, it's been a crazy journey so far, and it's so fun to see even my younger teammates that never experienced how snowboarding was before.
Yeah.
With the after parties, the wild travels. Yeah, we were like all friends, you know. We were staying together, traveling together, and that changed a bit. Unfortunately, you know, now we're still friends, but it's not like you're staying with your competitors, you're staying with your national team more.
Yeah, I mean, I remember just being like, hey, Anna, are you going here? Or Celia, are you going there? You'd buddy up. So you'd have like Australians, Kiwis, remember Possum and Steffi?
Yeah.
Like you'd get together as a crew and make it work to help each other out. What's your most vivid memory from your career so far?
Winning the bigger gold in Pyeongchang.
I remember that.
You guys were there, and I remember I got after. I was like the party in the Austrian house, and it's not normal that your competitor come to your like party. But they asked me how many friends I wanted to come, and I was like, well, all the girls that competed in the big air, and you guys all came, and we partied so hard together, and I still have the videos and the pictures of all of us dancing in the Austrian house on the table. And you know, the conservative Austrian Federation, you're like, what is going on?
Who are these people?
And I was like, this is snowboarding.
Yeah.
And this is one of my favorite memories, because I remember like just celebrating with my friends that I traveled with, that I trained with, that we went through some stuff together. You, Celia, all of us, we were like so close, and then celebrating together.
It's actually so crazy. I think that's what makes snowboarding so special, is the friendships.
Yeah.
Like, I have friends in all four corners of the world. Like last year I went to Australia and I saw Tora, and I don't think there are many sports that allow for that level of friendship. Do you have any perceptions on why that is? Because I've got a vision when I think of snowboarding and the friendship.
Because we go through some stuff together, and it's just like our passion connects us already.
Yeah.
You know, we're like, and when I started, there were not that many women. So as soon as I saw a woman on a snowboard, I connected.
Yeah.
And we were like, we are a little mind-liked already, because we love the adrenaline. Everyone that like does snowboard, bigger or slopestyle, we're kind of like, we love action, we love the adrenaline. I can connect with almost every girl. And especially back then, when you traveled together and trained together, it just made you close. And even though I haven't seen you in a while, when I see you, I'm so happy, and I still feel like we're friends and love to hang out. Or I would love, we could go on a girls trip together with Celia, and it would be like in the old times.
We should 100% get the crew together.
Yeah.
The old guards. Imagine doing a snowboard trip with us now, though. I think we'd get a little bit left behind.
I would love it.
Me and Celia will be in the bar, or the apologies.
No, I would push you guys. I want to see at least the 720.
Maybe a backflip.
A backflip or an underflip.
I would actually love it if you could get me to go upside down again.
Let's do that. Next project.
Next time we ride, you're coach, and you're going to get me to go upside down.
Yeah, let's do that.
What was it Celia used to do? The Todio.
The Todio. Oh my God.
The terrifying Todio. But I have this perception when I think of all of the girls and my friendships over the years from, 2014 to 2018. I think a huge element of what makes girls snowboarding so special, and snowboarding in general, which makes it different to any other sport, is the respect.
Yeah.
because each girl is pushing their own boundary.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, there is so much risk
Yeah.
when it comes to learning a new trick
Yeah.
or pushing yourself, that the minute somebody lands and they land on their feet, you're
Yeah.
instantly happy. So it strips away that, I suppose,
Competitive.
yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like in
I
other
know what you
sports,
mean.
imagine
Yeah.
if we were in a running race, we'd be like locking eyes, like, whoa, I'm gonna beat you.
it's true. It's so true.
It's not about beating your next competitor.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost about beating yourself.
Yeah.
Have you ever noticed that?
I noticed that, like, for example, just last week at the X Games slopestyle, I think Zoe did a run that was like a run I never thought a woman could do. With like 12, 10 and a 14 in it, like a guy's run.
It
from
was unreal, wasn't it?
And I saw it, and I like, even though it wasn't my day, and I like was kind of a little bit sad for myself for not doing the run I wanted, I like got so happy and emotional, and it was like my competitor doing
Yeah.
it. And yeah, I think we look at it a little bit like the bigger picture, maybe.
Yeah.
Because like how we talked before, that the women have been in the shadow a little bit, so we're so happy when another woman performs well, because it's good for the whole sport and the community.
It's so special.
Yeah, it's so special, really, that you're like, I'm generously happy for my competitors.
There's not
Like-
many athletes in any other sport that could stand at the sidelines after
Yeah.
missing finals by one place and say that. That is unique. That is unique to snowboarding.
I think so too, and that's why snowboarding is so special. Yeah, that's why we have friends around the world.
Where should we go on holiday then? We need to scheme this. Is it a snowboarding holiday or is it a beach holiday?
Right
think-
now, being on snow for like 7 months, I almost want a beach holiday, but I also want to see your backflip, so I have a hard time deciding.
Maybe it's like
A spring trip where it's
Spring
slushy
trip,
and we
yes.
can go to this beach
and
afterwards.
me and Celia can sunbathe and we'll clap whilst you train in Mammoth, yeah? Could somebody's got-
Mammoth, and then we go to LA.
Okay, that's a good
Yeah.
plan because somebody has an Olympics to do in a year's time. How does that make you feel? Like you've done 3, you have
Yeah.
2 golds.
Yeah.
Looking ahead and going into it, is there a pressure or is it just, it is what it is?
I would love to say that there's no pressure. I try to make it no pressure for myself, but the reality is I know what Olympics mean now and how big that event is, and I want to perform good there, so there's gonna be some pressure. I want to perform good there, I just want to show good snowboarding. And to do that, of course, I'm gonna feel a little bit of pressure.
You're going to have to throw yourself upside down a few times, mate. Not just twice anymore.
Not just twice anymore, that's true. And it's gonna be hard to like be on the podium there. But I honestly don't think, or how do I say that? This is not the main goal for me anymore. Like, of
Yeah.
course, it would be a dream to medal one more time and doing 4 Olympics and like following once a medal. But if I'm happy with my snowboarding, that's my goal. If I'm just happy showing good snowboarding, Olympics were a success.
How would you say the Olympics has changed your life? Because now, when you go to Austria, so talking about myself, heading into the Tyrol, I'm going up into the gondola, I'm turning on the TV and I'm seeing Anna Gasser driving an Audi. I'm seeing you plastered all over billboards.
Yeah, it changed for sure. I think it got snowboarding into the mainstream eye a little bit.
Kicked some of the ski racers out the way.
Yeah, like Austria is just known for the more conservative sports like ski racing and yeah, like soccer. And I think with winning the Olympics, that made people know snowboarding now and they know slopestyle now, and we got more respect for the whole sport. And maybe that's one of the biggest accomplishments I had in my career.
Yeah.
I also see so many more young snowboarders. And
What-
especially girls. Like there's so many young, talented snowboard girls now. And
You've got a little prodigy, haven't you? She was
I
in the
do.
World Cup
yeah.
just after the New Year's.
Yeah, it was cool. It was first time since I started snowboarding in my career that I was in a final with another Austrian girl.
Go on.
Yeah.
Is
So
it cool to be a mentor?
It's really cool. I love it. Some of the knowledge I got over the last 10 years to give it to the next person,
Yeah.
it makes me really happy.
That's so,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
lovely to hear.
Enjoy it. I enjoy having a little sister now, kind of a little sister.
Does she keep you on your toes, chasing the progression?
She is. She's learning from me, but I'm also learning from her because she sees the world with different eyes. How we talked before that the young generation is fearless and they don't see any, she doesn't see anything that can stop her. And sometimes seeing it through her eyes motivates me, you know, and like
Wow.
makes me better in certain ways. So I think it's a nice like helping each other.
That's incredible
Yeah.
because I remember looking back at you and just thinking how fearless you were. And that
Yeah.
used to inspire and motivate us. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, well, Anna's still going. And we'd all be like, should we go and get a coffee? And we're like, oh, Anna's still going and it's windy. It can't be that bad. So that's that fearless,
This fearless,
youthful energy.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I need now. I
Yeah.
need someone that pushes me.
When it comes to being at home and being in Austria, you said the Olympics has changed your life. When you're walking around town, do you get noticed? Is it hard being in the public eye?
I feel like depending where I am, when I'm on a mountain with a
Yeah.
Red Bull helmet or I'm branded with a Red Bull cap on, people recognize me more.
Yeah.
It happens that I get stopped and asked for pictures, but it's like for me more like an honor
Yeah.
to get noticed because like I never thought with snowboarding that would be a possibility. You know, I never
Yeah.
thought snowboarding like you could get noticed from snowboarding in Austria. So now when I get stopped and asked for pictures, even sometimes when I'm eating or, you know, when you're
Yeah.
just going to the store and you don't look styled, I'm like still trying to remember that. I'm like happy about it.
Yeah.
Like I'm more happy about it than it's hard for me. Because
That's a
I'm
good
like,
thing.
wow, this is how far snowboarding has come.
It's crazy, huh?
Because when I didn't have any expectations into my career when I started, or I never thought I would like win a gold medal at the Olympics or do this till I'm 33 years old.
It's crazy though because
Yeah.
I don't feel old, but in a snowboarding body, I had just like mentally
Yeah.
tapped out. Like physically, I'm now like good to go. Like,
Yeah,
let's go.
for sure. You were physically always good to go. I feel like
Yeah, I
you
think
were
it's
so fit. Like, where aren't you running marathons? yeah. See, no,
maybe not marathons, but the odd marathon. I like my running,
Yeah.
but for me now, that's my headspace. You know,
Yeah.
living in a city, fast
Yeah.
pace of life. Life is so different. Do you
Yeah.
ever think about life after snowboarding?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
the games it's almost less than a year away. That's
know.
coming quick.
Yeah, it's how you just said. I think from my body, I could still keep going for a little bit. I think mental, like snowboarding, is so much in your head, and it's so much about how you feel mentally.
Yeah.
And you need to be ready to take those risks. And I fully understand, like when we talked, when you stopped, I understood your reasons when you were like, I'm not ready mentally anymore.
Yeah.
More than
Yeah.
my body can still perform. Like, I'm not mentally ready anymore to take those risks.
How
But
do you weigh up that risk though? Do you feel that risk now?
I for sure think way more about when I try a new trick or when I take those risks, way
Yeah.
more than when I was younger and fearless. I would just try. Sometimes, because you remember me, I was really wild. I got injured quite a bit, and I think now for me to be a little more conscious is maybe a good thing because I think more and I like think more when to risk.
Yeah.
I for sure also have those moments of doubt where I'm like, I don't know if I still can do this. This is so scary. Like,
Can you take me to a moment where you've overcome that doubt recently?
recently it's actually, you know, the trick that I did at the X Games, this new X's on my cap 12.
Oh yeah,
I
that was
started-
lovely.
I started
Double, was it-
double truck driver grab.
Yeah, I mean, how you
Yeah.
got into that position in
Yeah.
the air, very
Yeah, it
impressive.
was. I remember in the fall,
Yeah,
I like was wanting to learn the 9 like that, and it's a new axis for me, totally new, and it's kind of double. And I didn't know what's gonna happen when I tried. I practiced it on the airbag, but I was in Sasfe and it was icy and windy, and
Oh,
the
Anna.
young kids were all sending it, and I
Oh,
was
no.
there, and I was like standing on the top, like kind of like questioning. I'm like, I don't know if I still got this. They are doing 12s and 14s, and I'm scared of trying this
and
9.
it's icy.
And it's icy and windy, and that was one of those moments where it was really hard for me, and I was like doubting. I'm like, I don't know if I still can go to the Olympics. I don't know if I still have it in me. And then I tried.
Yeah.
And sometimes trying something, you get over that fear. You know, sometimes you have to try something with fear to get over the fear.
It's
Like even if you bail,
Yeah.
like sometimes bailing
can
or
then
falling
remove
down,
it, right?
yeah, it can remove your fear. Because falling down sometimes it's not that bad. Like if you-
sometimes. I'm currently thinking about the time that I implanted myself in Oslo, trying to keep up with Celia going off a jump, hooking my heel edge and landing on my back and breaking my ribs.
yeah, you're right. There is this risk in the sport anyway, but also I think when you don't try, you get more scared.
Yes,
Like
that's what happened to me.
Yeah, you need to almost like sometimes be reminded that falling 100 times, nothing happens when you fall. And then there's, of course, there can be that one fall that's bad, but a lot of times we have to learn, you need to fall.
And you need to learn how to fall,
And you need to learn how to fall. It's like this really weird circle and it probably makes no sense. People that listen to this, they are like,
And a cat-like gasser.
what are they talking about? You should fall.
But it's a funny one because I always say, a few of my friends recently have started snowboarding, which is really cool. And it's helped me fall back in love with snowboarding. So,
because you see it from...
yeah, last year I went on my first ever snowboard holiday.
Oh,
It was so good, Anna. It was
nice.
It was incredible. But the first thing I said was, to progress and to be able to snowboard, you need to learn how to fall. It's the key, isn't it?
Yeah, and falling is part of the game.
It is, unfortunately. It's weird, there's like wee mounds.
Yeah.
That's where you go for a wee in Aspen in the middle of the night on the way home from the pub. That will be you later. Because I believe there's a X Games gold medal that needs to be celebrated.
That needs to be
tonight.
celebrated. I hope I don't use one of those. But
I hope you don't use them nowadays. Going back to your party though, I remember vividly, if somebody was to ask me about that night, I would tell you it was absolutely wild. There was so much booze, all of the snowboarders dancing on the table, and steaks flying around. There were steaks everywhere.
Steaks?
Like, yeah. You didn't even remember
I
eating
don't
probably.
remember, sorry.
But every table had like a steak on it. So I just remember chowing down on steak and vodka Red Bull. That was a great night.
that was a good night.
And
We know how to celebrate in Austria.
Yeah. And to be honest, the snowboard community knows how to celebrate.
More that,
I say snowboarders have a good balance, right? Work hard, play hard.
Work hard, play hard. That's how it should be. If you don't enjoy your wins,
Yeah.
why would you win? You know?
Yeah.
And then it's a balance. Life is all a balance and you need to find your right mix. But
Yeah.
I sometimes think it's really important to let loose, that life doesn't get too serious.
Too right. I think that's such a valuable takeaway for anybody listening to this podcast. Anna, you've travelled all over the world snowboarding. If I was to give you keys to freedom to go on the ultimate Michelin-fueled adventure, you can take 3 people with you.
Oh, that is very hard.
Where would
Like
you
a
go?
snowboard trip? Or
You can do whatever you want. You can go anywhere in the world with 3 people.
I think I would take my mom,
Yes, Mumsy.
Mumsy, because what would we be without our moms?
Nothing.
Now we need them. And
Your mum's
they're
incredible
there
as
for the
well.
good and the bad times. And she deserves a trip of a lifetime and an adventure trip of a lifetime.
Yes, love that.
Yeah, I also would take my sister.
Nice. Do a
'Cause
little acro on the
I
road.
have a little acro on the way, and like just also because for me family is so important, and I feel like they had my back for so long.
Yeah.
If I can give something back, I want to give it back to my family.
That's really nice.
Yeah, a third person would take Clemens.
It has to be.
Of course, Clemens.
And for those listening to this podcast, who is Clarence?
Clemens is my boyfriend. We've been together for a very long time now, and he's supported me so much through my whole career. And I don't think all of those medals would have happened without him.
He is such a gentleman.
He's such a gentleman, and he's one of the kindest people on the planet, I think. Kind to everyone.
He really is.
Yeah.
He is a special man.
He's a special
You're
man.
lucky to have had him by your side, for sure.
Yeah,
We
and
always
through-
enjoyed his company as well on the road.
Yeah, true.
He's
So
brilliant.
these would be my 3 people I would take on a trip.
And
I would take my dad too, but he doesn't like to travel. So
leave him at home.
So I leave him at home.
It's the girls and Clements. Anna, we are on the Monday Mile podcast, so we'd like to ask all of our guests what their relationship is like with Monday. Do you like a Monday?
I like a Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I love my job. I love what I'm doing, and Monday it's not busy on the slopes.
It's always quiet, isn't
It's
it?
quiet. I love a quiet, empty park.
Yes, love that.
And yeah, I feel like when you have a job that you love, you have a good relation with Monday.
Too right.
Yeah.
And lastly, Anna, is there a life motto or quote that you can leave with our listeners to inspire them to chase their dreams just like you
That's
have?
hard because there's so many good mottos.
Go on, you can have a couple if you like.
I can have a couple. I would say my first motto that really for me helped me through my whole career is like to just believe.
Yes.
Believe in yourself and in your dreams and what you want to do. Sounds a little bit cheesy, but it really is that. It always starts with that you believe in what you're doing.
And you are living proof
That you
of
are
that.
living your passion and you believe that that's what you want to do.
Unreal. Anna Gasser, thank you so much for joining us here in Aspen. The first time Monday Mile has ever been stateside. The Olympics
Thanks,
is in a
guys.
year's time. We will be watching you avidly.
I
And
hope you're gonna be there.
I hope so too.
Yeah, I hope you and Celia both are gonna be there.
Yeah. I mean, we can celebrate at the
then-
Austrian party.
Yeah.
Great
With
plan.
a medal or without a medal.
It
we
doesn't
do that.
matter.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. You've got two already. Don't be greedy.
No, that is so true.
Monday Mile listeners, it is a wrap. I really, really hope you enjoyed that one. If you are new to the podcast, the audio drops every single Monday morning for the early risers. So make sure you tune in and walk with us. Monday Mile listeners from Aspen.
Yeah.
It is a wrap.
Ciao.